Hey everyone, today I want to go over some popular rigs for surf perch fishing and some of the benefits and drawbacks of each rig and and then finally probably end with the rig that I find to be my favorite. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use oversized rope. Obviously it's not fishing line, it's from my date kit, but you'll have to use your imagination. So we're going to pretend this is your main line here. And typically for surf fishing, it might be what, like 30-pound braid, and then this is going to be your leader here. So probably the most popular rig is going to be the high-low rig. Sometimes they will call it the double dropper loop rig. Okay, so again, this is your main line, and I'm going to pull this a little bit closer here so you can see the terminal end here. So what you will have is a couple of hooks here and here, okay, and then actually maybe go back. So the connection here is probably going to be something like a modified Albright, which is my favorite because it's convenient. Probably in terms of the best knot strength, it might be the FG knot. And you could look up either on YouTube or Google. So anyways, you got a couple of hooks here, and these will typically be size 6 bait holder hooks. And again, I'm using bigger hooks just for demonstration purposes. And then at the end, you might have something like a pyramid sinker or something like a coin sinker. Now, I guess the benefit of this rig is that it's pretty simple and it's a strong rig. This leader line is probably going to be something like 15-20 pound line, and it has to be that thick because obviously you're whipping this rig around and you got maybe a 1 ounce or maybe even a 2 ounce sinker here, and to put that kind of stress on this leader line, you can't have a 6-pound line. You can't have even probably 10-pound line, so it has to be thick. And that's probably my main beef with this rig here, is because I believe in using as light a line as you can possibly get away with. So in the surf, you're not dealing with structure, you're not dealing with oversized fish. So everything being equal, I would love to use something like 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. But again, if you use 6-pound fluoro here, you will snap this rig off, within a matter of a handful of casts. That's probably why I don't choose this rig. And again, I'm not a big surf fishing person, but I have found that I don't get as much action with this rig as compared to the other ones. And again, I think that has something to do with the thickness of the leader, and plus I think with this rig the bait doesn't act as naturally as it might in the wild, right? So if you've got bait in the surf, it should probably be tumbling around a lot more than something like this rig might allow for. The next most popular rig is called the Carolina rig. So again, you have the main line here, and then you have the leader here, and at the end of the leader, again, same hook. It's going to be something like a size 6 bait holder hook, and then you have a sliding sinker. Okay, so you throw this rig out, and with this rig, the benefit, I think, or one of the benefits, is this leader can be very, very light. So you can have 4-pound leader, you can have 6-pound leader, because it is not being stressed out during the cast. This egg sinker can be anywhere from ½ ounce to maybe a couple ounces, and this sinker will just kind of slide back and forth along the main line, and it's going to be stopped by a little bead, and then you have a swivel that connects the main line to your leader. And because you have the swivel, you don't have to know any fancy knots that bring the main line and the leader together. The drawback, probably the main drawback of this rig, is that if you're dealing with heavy surf, okay, this sinker moves around and gets kicked around very, very easily. Okay, so it's moving around the surf. It's kind of hard to control, so you really have to pay attention in terms of line tension. And also, because this leader is just kind of free floating, there's a tendency for sometimes for it to get like fouled up in the main line or what have you. So that's the drawback. Now, I would say, again, from my limited experience, that this rig gets me more action. And I do believe that it is because of the free-floating nature of the leader and the bait. And on top of that, you have the lighter leader working on your behalf. And then finally, I'm going to show you the rig that I prefer. Now, again, with these rigs, they have like multiple names. I've seen them called the fish finding rig, a couple other names. I'm just going to describe it visually for you. So again, main line here, which is again 30-pound braid. And then you have the leader line here, which again can be light because it's not being stressed out by the cast. So this can be, 4-pound fluoro, 6-pound fluoro, size 6 bait holder hook. And then I'm going to give you a close-up of this little swivel here. Okay. So basically there's a hole where the line goes through. So what happens is you have your swivel again and your bead, and this weight here will connect to your sliding swivel here like this. So again, this weight is free to slide up and down the leader. All right. So the reason I like this rig over the Carolina rig is because this weight right here, okay, doesn't get pushed around quite as easily in the surf. All right. Now with the weights, you can either choose a pyramid type or the coin type, and I choose the coin type because with the pyramid type, there is more of a tendency, especially in heavy surf, for it to get pushed around. And when it does get pushed around and starts to roll, it feels like you're getting bit. So it's like tap, 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 tap. Whereas this coin sinker is much more or much less likely to get flipped upside down. Okay, so I do prefer the coin weights in general. You can whip this, via casting all day, because again, the stress is here, your main line, and not your leader. Okay, it still gives you the benefit of the weight being able to slide, so the fish can take the bait without feeling the weight. So I think you should think about giving this rig a try too. I think you may like it. That about wraps it up. Thanks as always for dropping by. Have fun, be safe, and we will see you on the next outing.